In spite of a reputation of backwardness and bureaucracy, India now outstrips the world when it comes to real-time digital payments. Accounting for 36% of the global transactions, India made 25.5 billion such payments in 2020, compared with 15.7 billion in China and just 1.2 billion in the United States. Part of the reason for the explosion of the online activity has been the widespread adoption of the Aadhaar digital identification system. This is used by 1.3 billion people in India. The biometric ID system, which assigns every cardholder a unique 12-digit number, has helped to boost the number of mobile phone and digital bank accounts, as telecom companies and financial institutions have found it cheap and easy to authenticate customers. One of the system's chief architects and chairman of Infosys, Nandan Nalkani, said, quote, "Aadhaar has laid the foundation for the digital transformation of the entire society. People are finally realizing that ID is a method of empowerment," close quote. The world's biggest ID system had a narrow remit when it was launched in 2009 by the Congress Party-led government. It was introduced to ease welfare payments to India's most vulnerable, as well to reduce fraud. Now, after the citizen validates a photograph, fingerprints, and takes an iris scan, each one can claim an Aadhaar card, facilitating the access to the state benefits. But the system has subsequently been used to authorize an ever-widening range of activities, from school enrollments to hospital admissions, and many private companies have taken advantage of the system as well. For the most part, Indians appear to be happy with the trade of personal data for smoother services. The 2019 State of Aadhaar report, which surveyed 167,000 people, found that 92% were satisfied with how the system worked. The benefits are incredible, Reuben Abraham, the chief executive officer of IDFC Institute, a Mumbai-based think tank, highlighted the Aadhaar's role in promoting financial inclusion. He continues, "It is immensely popular with people," close quote. However, a system that may work for a majority of Indians has singularly failed to work adequately for all. The State of Aadhaar report estimated that 8% of all citizens, about 102 million people, did not have cards, and 75 million of them were children. The enrollment rates were particularly low in the northeastern states, Assam with 10% and Meghalaya with 39%, among the rural poor, the homeless communities. Some 4% of respondents also mentioned errors with their cards, and it made it hard for them to correct them. The Indian media has also reported tragic loss of life, several cases of cardless individuals starving to death because they could not gain access to benefits that they were entitled to. Quote, "Aadhaar is deeply embedded in the Indian life and works for most people most of the time. However, when it does not work, it most affects those who are already vulnerable," the report concluded. Now, some critics say that Aadhaar has largely failed to fulfill its original promise of improving welfare and now acts as a tool for social exclusion and corporate influence. Indian economist and social scientist Rakita Kahira says, quote, "The Aadhaar project is a perversion of the constructive purpose of technology to be subservient to the needs of society." She continues, "In an Aadhaar-less world, we would be further ahead," close quote. As we look at India and other countries around the world attempting to make one piece of identification for every transaction possible, we see that things are narrowing to one world more and more every day. For TLP Headlines with a Voice, this is Felicia Lockhart.